Septien approaches. Deep for the Minnesota Vikings, and awaiting the ball was Jarvis Redwine, and Jarvis again lets this one bound through the end zone. Earlier in the game, a little tentative, this youngster who has taken on new chores here at the Minnesota Vikings. Cost the Vikings a first down at their own 14. This one that's bound out of the end zone, and it'll be first down at 10, 20-yard line for the Vikings. 4-4 on the season thus far. Cowboys 6-2 into tonight's game. I do not see a flag, but I see referee Bob McElwee indicating that the kickoff unit for the Cowboys was offside, and that will mean that Septien will have to kick it again. And that will be from the 30-yard line following the penalty. And keeping in mind, once again, the importance of this game. If Minnesota should win tonight, they will host the Atlanta Falcons here next Sunday. Tampa Bay then will travel to Dallas, and St. Louis will be at Green Bay. Should the Cowboys go on to win tonight, Minnesota will have to travel to Dallas, where they meet the Cowboys again next Sunday. Tampa Bay will be at Green Bay on Saturday, and St. Louis at Atlanta on Sunday. Set to go once again, Jarvis Redwine and Darren Nelson, the rookie #1 draft pick and great All-American from Stanford, awaiting the kick of Septien. We have not seen Nelson in the offensive unit for the Vikings thus far tonight. Septien whacks it. This will be Darren Nelson from the 2-yard line. And Nelson, nice run back out of the 25-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 as Tommy Kramer brings the Vikes out. Okay. Let's take a look at the first quarter stats, and then we'll switch them over to halftime stats.
Okay, Giff, the first quarter, as you can see, not a major differential, but an edge to Dallas and an edge in controlling the football of about 6 minutes. But as one moves down to the second quarter and the halftime statistics, total reversal. In that second quarter, Minnesota made 9 first downs to none for Dallas. 70 yards rushing to 7 for Dallas. 61 passing to 1 for Dallas. 131 yards to 8 for Dallas. And it was total domination by the Vikes. Frank?
First down and 10, and Darren Nelson stays in the offensive unit for the Minnesota Vikings. The first-round draft pick movement, and it looked like the right side of the Vikings. Tim Irwin perhaps offside for the Vikes. But we now have setbacks for Minnesota of number 20, Darren Nelson, and Rickey Young, 34.
Number 76, offense.
Irwin, right tackle, offsides for Minnesota. Darren Nelson, he did it all at Stanford. He has been brought into the offensive unit very slowly by Bud Grant. Last week, his best day in the pros, 48 yards on the ground against the Jets. But what a career he had. The first NCAA college player to rush for over 1,000 yards and catch 50 passes in the same season, and he did it 3 times. Now he comes back out, and Ted Brown comes back in. Ted Brown, single setback. That's a situational change. I think we'll see Darren Nelson later as it's first down and 15. And Brown held for about a 2-yard pickup as he moves over the left side. John Dutton in there with help from his friends. So it'll be second down now and about 14. Ted Brown, Mr. Everything for Bud Grant. Good receiver. Fine runner. Not a power runner, but he carries size at about 210.
Tell you, Don, should the Vikes prevail tonight, Dallas can't be happy about the thought of playing Tampa Bay with that great Buccaneer defense.
But Tampa Bay's not happy about going to Green Bay either. Second down, 14. Kramer fires to Sam McCullum, and McCullum comes down with the ball. With the experience, the wide receiver gets the first down. At the 32-yard line.
He had to catch that one. It was there when he turned around. Zap! I got that one.
But they're sticking to that game plan. They're working on Dennis Thurman still, despite Dennis's fine first half.
You can see Sensor, the tight end, stay in the backfield to block. When McCullough turned around, the ball was there. Thurman had pretty good coverage on it. The ball was just thrown before he made his break.
McCullum, of course, quite a headline figure at the early going of the strike situation. Released as a player representative of Seattle, picked up by the Vikings, who, by the way, had him back in 1976, but he was a starter for Seattle. And he's in there now because of the injuries to Rashad and Sammy White. On first down, Darren Nelson. And down goes Nelson, but not until he works out over the 40-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Everson Walls there defensively first for the Cowboys. Darren Nelson, 5'9", 180-pounder, but incredibly strong. Good track man. Had a 9.4 100.
He's had a little difficulty in settling in up here. He just said outright when the draft said, I don't want to go up there and play, and then he had trouble signing his contract. Maybe you get that all behind him, and he'll get it settled out and say, this is nothing bad. They built a nice house for him to play in.
One of the reasons they drafted him, because he is so quick, so effective on the artificial surface, and of course the Vikings just moved inside this year. Second and 6. Whoa, Nelson. Oh, he hit by Michael Downs.
Look, he's got the ball.
Fake by Tommy Kramer, and Darren Nelson put a great fake on. And Tommy Kramer hit the ball beautifully. Goes for the Minnesota first down. Close to the 41-yard line. Everson Walls picked up Kramer finally. Look at this fake.
Michael Downs is the guy coming through, and wham, did he may make Darren pay for it. And Tommy Joe is going to hot-foot it around the outside. He outran Dutton.
Well, I'll tell you, I bought that fake.
I did totally. And I'll tell you something else. This is why I love to watch a Bud Grant team.
Was that a penalty?
Well, they're saying he stepped out of bounds. I think the crowd thought that Kramer picked up more yardage than he was credited with as they mark it at the 42-yard line of Dallas.
Bud will pull everything on you as you look at him. He seems implacable, but he's not any longer. After a defeat, you could never talk to him. But that was 5 years ago. Now, after a defeat, he really opens up.
Great. 42-yard line. Kramer in trouble with Ed Jones, and he has to hurry a toss downfield to McCullum, but Ed Jones was about to rain all over him. And that's a lot of rain. Too tall, 6'9", 272-pounder, and he was right in Kramer's face.
See, he slipped the block to the inside. Nobody's there. Tommy did hurry it. They keep saying, you know, Ed never does play up. If he just would ever get all of his gears going at the same time, you know then how good he could be. But a guy that's that big and got that much talent, oftentimes is going to receive that criticism. I think he does a pretty stable job over on the side.
Plays that strong side for the Cowboys, where they really must think run in Tom Landry's defense. They turn the Harvey Martins loose. Harvey Martin, by the way, back in the game at right defensive end, number 79. Second down 10. Kramer up on top. Wide open is Steve Jordan, the rookie tight end from Brown, one of Howard's Ivy Leaguers.
A nice read that time. They sent a safety to blitz, and that's where they hit him. Steve Jordan was right there in the hole.
They just disregarded him, and there had to be a linebacker on him, and he didn't pick him up.
We'll see coming into the screen, I think.
You see the way Bud Grant has the diversified offense done, uses everybody. Now, this is a remarkable young man. Yes, he's an Ivy Leaguer out of Brown, Frank, because you're chuckling about it. But I'll tell you this, he is a brilliant kid, and he may go on for his master's degree in engineering to MIT. When you can do that, he's got that option, you're brilliant.
7th-round draft pick. He gets the first down for the Vikings inside the 15-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. Kramer tries to hit the slant, and it's incomplete to Sam McCullum.
That was catchable.
That was the one you think maybe a Sammy White working more with Tommy Kramer, or certainly an Ahmad Rashad, would probably have come down with the 6.
Well, it's just a very simple pattern, but the ball's right there in the hands, and you do see a lot of guys catch those. Thurman was pretty close behind him there, though.
Certainly had him concerned. Thurman was right on him. Sammy White has come into the game, and the crowd acknowledges Sammy White, the leading receiver coming into the night for the Vikings. Clutch receiver, Sammy White. Second down 10. Kramer, Harvey Martin is all over Kramer. And they're saying
forward motion.
The arm was in motion.
Right.
Incomplete pass. It'll be third down 10. That Harvey Martin, who went out in the middle of the second quarter, limping off the field, back in there, and once again a force for the Cowboys. Started to mention that over on Too Tall Jones' side, they play the run much stronger along with John Dutton, and they sort of turn Randy White and Harvey Martin loose on their pass rush. Well, they, of course, play primarily on the weak side. Third down and 10. And we have a timeout on the field. The Minnesota Vikings tied with the Dallas Cowboys at 10. Have a 3rd and 10 at the 13.
Who gives you good neighbor service on your car, home, life, and health insurance. Check with State Farm.
I'm State Farm agent Carl Cox. What sets State Farm apart is no secret. It's that good neighbor service State Farm is famous for. With State Farm, you have affordable protection that respects your budget. One agent who can do it all. Life, health, home, and car insurance. And just one number to call for that good neighbor service. Check with State Farm.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jackson, recently acquired, worked out a little bit, signed yesterday. He's been around a lot of years in New England. Prior to going to San Diego this year, was the last cut of the Chargers. Before that, 5 years with the Rams. Before that, 4 years with the Eagles. All in all, 15 years. He is the leading active receiver in the NFL today. You saw the numbers, 571 career receptions.
If he gains another 20 yards, he passes Bambi, Lance Alden.
Creeping up there. He's in 3rd place right now. Of course, Don Maynard's the leader.
3rd down and 10 for the Vikings. We're tied at 10, 11:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Jackson is split to the right. 4 wide receivers are in now. Kramer gets the ball to Ted Brown and pounds in the end zone. Good heady move by Tommy Kramer. He was feeling the pressure from Ed Jones. Waited until Brown uncovered. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Anthony Dickerson missed that tackle and jumped up and ran off the field in a hurry. He knew it. Very disgusted with himself.
You can't get out of those movies, though.
Can't get out of those movies. He's going to be there again. I bet he misses him again. Not a lot of pressure this time. Some late pressure from Randy White. There's Dickerson. Slides off and into that end zone. You know, if I was old Tom sitting over there, I'd begin to start worrying about my team.
I would too.
They haven't looked too good in the last couple of
weeks. Played about 34 minutes of football. The offense has generated a field goal.
Danmeier. And for the first time tonight, the Vikings take the lead. At one point, they trailed 10-0. And then remember, 4th down run by Greg Coleman. That turned the Vikings around, and they have the lead. 17-10 over Dallas with a little more than 11.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back.
Now, from Buick, a remarkable opportunity. You can get 11.9 annual percentage rate financing when you buy any new 82 or 83 Buick, including Skyhawk, Skylark, Century, Regal, LeSabre, Electra, or Riviera. So spread your wings in a new 82 or 83 Buick and get 11.9 annual percentage rate financing. You must take retail delivery from your participating Buick dealer stock no later than March 31st or place a factory order by February 28th.
If you want a typewriter that erases, you can get the Selectric or the Xerox 620 memory writer. If you also want to set columns automatically, you can use one of their older electronics or the memory writer. If you also want to store pages of text, you can get one of their new models or the memory writer. But if you also want a display to make revisions and correct errors before they get on paper, you can only get the 620 memory writer from Xerox.
Get back in the groove. Life in the fast lane with Bowling's High Rollers. The Professional Bowlers Tour 22nd year begins January 15th on ABC.
Metrodome sold out. They were looking for tickets throughout the entire week. Over 62,000 on hand. Ted Brown, what a great shuffle he put on Anthony Dickerson. Tommy Kramer, he waited with big Ed Jones bearing down on him to deliver the ball right on target. Danmeier to kick off. Newsom is deep along with Rod Hill. Timmy Newsom from the 9-yard line. Newsom over the 20, and the crowd now is applauding everything the Vikings do. A flag is down. Rufus Betts is down there for the Vikings. But again, a flag is down. We would suspect it'll be the illegal block once again. And the Cowboys will be backed up once again, and they are absolutely being dominated in terms of time of possession. And they sit down there with, speaking of Pro Bowls, the Cowboys have 7. The Vikings have 1. Matt Blair.
Number 62.
That's fun. That's a fun game. It's really fun for the players. They go over to Honolulu. They get to know each other. Some of them have never even met each other than on the football field. We're looking forward to Pro Bowl February the 6th. The 11-yard line. The Cowboys 1st and 10. They trail by 7. Dorsett. I have not heard much from Dorsett this evening. He gets 4. 2nd down and 6. Dennis Johnson defensively for the Vikes.
I haven't heard much of that offensive group since the first quarter. They're going to do it. They need to put one together right now. There's a little touch of maybe lethargic. They're becoming a little lethargic. That's a good word.
Well, they ran off 6 straight victories until the Eagles upset them last week. But you still get the feeling as you look at them that they are not playing to their potential. I think that's what we've commented on throughout the entire evening. 2nd and 6. White, Cosby struggles forward for the first down to the 22-yard line.
Right, that's their first down since the 11-minute, 12-second mark of the first quarter. Now, when have you seen a Dallas offense that stifled or that sluggish?
The Vikings have turned their defense around somewhat this year. They took Doug Martin, the defensive right end, put him over the left side. They were 28th against the rush out of 28 teams in the NFL a year ago with the Vikings. They brought that to 4th against the rush this year. 1st down and 10, 22-yard line. Dorsett. Crowd is really with the Vikings now. Dorsett held for a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Tony Dorsett seems to me you'd get the ball to him just a little more often. Maybe it's a flare pass, maybe the screen pass. They do like to screen to him. We have not seen that this evening. That, of course, probably part of the game plan.
You get a feeling they're saving their best plays until they come to Dallas next week. They may not come to Dallas next week. Tampa may be there.
Long way to go yet. 2nd down and 8. Cosby in motion. Danny White looks into the slot. He finds Drew Pearson. Another first down, this time at the 38-yard line.
Danny settling down now.
Pearson ran a good little turn-in route there.
14-yard pickup by Drew Pearson. He's drawing ever closer to the yardage record, all-time yardage record of Bob Hayes. He has 41 yards tonight. He needed 61 coming in, so he needs 20 yards to replace Bobby Hayes as the all-time receiving yardage record holder. Bootleg by Danny White. Looks downfield, and that will be ruled complete by Tony Hill. Even though he went down out of bounds, he was hit by John Turner. He does not have to come down with both feet in bounds if he is hit by a defensive man and driven out.
That almost looked like one you make up in the schoolyard. Little fake to Dorsett going that way. Good fake by White holding the ball. Started to throw to Springs early, so Hill open up.
Well, he had
this is
some
what
smoke
Frank
on it,
saw.
too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's up in the air, and he did come back.
Oh, he got them both down.
He had them both down anyway, didn't he? He does that so well. I really like Tony Hill.
Dallas, for the first time, pulling their offense together on a march at the 43-yard line of Minnesota. 1st and 10, Dorsett. And Dorsett screams down the sidelines, and he has another Dallas first down. And when they function on all 8, they really move that ball quickly.
It's his longest run of the night, isn't it? About a 12-yarder.
Dallas, despite all the hoopla, hullabaloo, and publicity that surrounds this team as the so-called America's team, has not made it to the Super Bowl the last 3 years.
I'll give you one. You talked about the long game. His longest run thus far this season is 19 yards. First down, 10. Danny White has the ball knocked out of his hands. A Cowboy covers, however. One of his big linemen dropping back there, Kurt Peterson.
Big Martin.
Doug Martin. He is the best pass rusher, perhaps the best defensive lineman, number 79 for the Vikes.
I couldn't see from this angle, so we looked from the other side, but there Martin comes in. Just knocks the ball out of Danny's hand.
And Kurt Peterson was battling with Martin on the pass blocking. And Martin took him all the way back. Martin knocked it out of White's hands, but Kurt Peterson was there. Second down, call it 16, or rather 26. Billy Joe Dupree, and down goes Billy Joe Dupree. Calling all over Dupree was Keith Nord. Another big play by the Vikings defense. Now Dallas has third, extremely long yardage. Third down, 26.
Well, they were down to the 30, first down and driving. If they come up empty out of this series, it's going to take a while to recover.
Minnesota on top, 17-10, 8:08 remaining in the third quarter. Danny White, a wobbly pass as Danny White had to step away from charging Mark Mullaney. Incomplete, fourth down, out of field goal range of the Cowboys, and Danny White will stay on the punt. Cowboys had a first and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now it's fourth down at the 46-yard line. Rufus Bess has replaced Eddie Payton as the primary punt return and kickoff return man for the Vikings. And here's Danny White. Kicking a little above his season average. Looking for the corner, and he's going to be very close to catching it.
Good kick.
Good kick, Danny White. Great kick. Marked inside the 10-yard line. Danny White puts it out of bounds at the 9-yard line on a 37-yard pickup.
Here's big news from GMAC about low financing. Participating GM dealers are now offering low 11.9% GMAC financing on all new 83 GM cars and light trucks. 11.9% financing, not on just a few selected models, but every new GM car and light truck. Offer good until March 31st. See your GM dealer for details.
If you really want it, we can help you get it. We're GMAC Finance.
11.9%.
What TV set plays even the toughest houses, yet keeps on playing? It isn't who you think. It's Sharp, with the best service record average for the last 5 years, according to a leading independent survey. Sharp's Lenitron Plus. We replaced 500,000 transistors and diodes with one tiny chip. From Sharp minds come Sharp products.
Wednesday, team with me. Adams going too far on Dynasty.
Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, 7:56 remaining in the third quarter. Final game of the NFL's regular season. The Minnesota Vikings, the Dallas Cowboys. Vikings playing inspired football tonight. Two top receivers out of the lineup. Ahmad Rashad. Sammy White has been in just briefly. They lead the Cowboys 17-10. First down and 10. 9-yard line of the Vikes. Kramer puts Sensor in motion. Ted Brown, or rather Darren Nelson, got a block from Rickey Young.
Got a pretty good block from Rickey Young that time on Benny Barnes. Strong safety, and caught Benny, pushed him inside a little bit. He's basically the... wait a minute, what is this? Broke all of...
I'm not going to say.
Except for one.
Don't be bitter.
Gain of 4 by
broke
Nelson.
all of my...
It'll be 2nd down and 6.
Except for one. Huh. Let's see. Oh, interceptions. You turkeys. You're a bunch of turkeys down there.
Ball at the 13-yard line. Nelson got 4. 2nd down and 6. This is Ted Brown. Runs into John Dutton. Surges forward, short of the 1st down, out over the 15 to the 16. Where it'll be 3rd down and 3.
Well, as the old cliche goes, this is a big play.
Let's have some of those. We haven't had very many of those tonight. That's good one. That's a big play. Let's talk about momentum coming in here, too.
Ted Brown, now over 3,000 yards rushing as a Viking in this his 4th season, the short 9-game season that it is. 3rd down, 3. Censor. And almost picked off by Benny Barnes on the deflection. It'll be 4th down, and the Cowboys should have fairly good field position unless Greg Coleman turns into a runner once again.
Censor, a great basketball player with 99 times out of 100 at that football.
That time, it really did almost wind up in Benny Barnes' hand.
On the road, out in the bad weather, 38-1 at home here in the Metrodome, where home run balls seem to carry as well as punts. He does much better. Here's Rod Hill, the #1 draft pick out of Kentucky State, with the great potentials in the NCAA Division II. Holman, fine punt. Rod Hill drops the ball. Scramble, and the Cowboys cover. So the Cowboys will have a 1st down close to their 40-yard line as Coleman limps off the field. I didn't see what happened to Coleman.
I don't think he got hit, but he went up and he fell anyway. Let's take a look and see.
Method acting almost got him here.
Well, he came down on his foot, looked a little crooked.
46-yard punt. A couple of yards on the return, but the Cowboys in good field position. 6:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
No second shots, Wallace. No second shots.
I'm used to him yelling,
Wallace, you got to keep him out of there.
but not at me.
Punch him out. Punch him out.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best.
Nice game.
You found it in yourself, and now you've found it in the beer you drink.
The Harlem Globetrotters return to the Big Apple, and New York will never be the same. Plus, skiers attack the world's most treacherous downhill run. Another great opening, the season premiere of ABC's Wide World of Sports.
The Dallas Cowboys have a 1st down and 10. Their own 40-yard line. They trail the Minnesota Vikings 17-10. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Danny White looks over the 3-4 defense of the Vikings if they show on 1st down. Springs. And he was looking very tentatively for a hole, and big Charlie Johnson corralled him for a loss of a yard. Charlie Johnson, who, according to reports, did not like the intensity of the pressure at the Eagles, wanted out. Minnesota Vikings, who are a little much more low-key. They have a high draft pick for the 3-time Pro Bowler. He comes out on passing situations. And we'll have Randy Holloway, Doug Martin, James White, and Mark Mullaney, the front four, as the Vikings drop into their four-man front. Blitz is on, and Danny White forced to throw it a little prematurely, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 11.
They're smooth.
You have to credit this Viking defense. They have really been opportunistic tonight. They are changing almost every play, and they are changing up, guessing with Landry. And, of course, Bud Grant, now in his 16th year, Landry in his 23rd. They know each other like a book. Think of the hundreds of hours of films that they've watched of each other's teams.
Danny White under 50% at the moment. First time this year. Completion percentage.
He'll get it up.
3rd down and 11 from the shotgun.
Yeah.
And this one draws a flag. Timmy Newsom, intended receiver. Trapped downfield. Tommy Hannon with the football, but a flag is down. And it works against the Vikings. It'll be 1st down Dallas. Let's look again.
What a
Newsom,
break.
the intended receiver.
Well, he was coming across. That's got to be some interference there, hasn't it?
Keith Nord had his hand on the back of Timmy Newsom. Gets the call. It'll be 1st down 10. Dallas near the 48-yard line of the Vikings.
That's what Dallas needed.
Drew Pearson split to the right. Tony Hill out to the left. Dorsett. Penny looking for daylight. Finds very little.
Oh, boy.
Squeezes out just about 4 yards.
These guys are playing inspired football, no question about it. That's a swarming defense, Don.
I think you see one of them that really, I'm not saying Dallas doesn't want to win, but I think that you've got the Vikings in there that, man, they know they've got to play their top game, and they're doing it. You see them trot out on the field, run out on the field. You see the other group just kind of mosey on out there and line up. I don't think the star on the helmet's going to do it. They got to do something else.
2nd down, 6. The ball inside the 45-yard line. White. Cosby, the tight end. Cosby will have the 1st down. He's inside the 35-yard line.
What a real asset Cosby has been. He came in. They've had the 3 tight ends for a while. Jay Saldy, of course, and Billy Joe Dupree. But Cosby has come in. He's got all the things they like. He's got good speed, and Frank mentioned it earlier, he can really catch the ball. He's got terrific hands. And a young guy. Look at that, 26
Well,
years
with the
old.
rules changes that Frank mentioned so much, the change in offense, the use of 3 wide receivers, you may see the tight end become extinct in favor of an extra tackle.
1st down and 10.
Here they come, here they come. Good defense.
Good defensive play, and another flag goes down as John Swain may have come up over the top too quickly on Drew Pearson.
Well, I got to see this one.
He may have bumped him, but it was a good effort on Swain's part. Had him man for man back there. They blitzed 4 or 5. Blitzed there by the head.
He had great position.
Oh, that left hand. He had him in the back.
Maybe that's why he had great position.
Yeah.
Crowd will boo.
Number 29. 1st down.
Crowd will boo, but no question, a good call. 24-yard line, 1st down Dallas. A pair of infractions, interference calls against the Vikings. 2 consecutive 1st downs for the Cowboys. Tony Hill and Pearson both split up to the top of your screen. That's Hill in the slot. Going for Hill, and we're going to get another interference call again, this time against John Turner, I believe. That's 3 consecutive 1st downs for Dallas on the interference.
Well, you get back there by yourself, you get a little nervous. I think this one, was a pretty flagrant call.
I don't know.
Wasn't too flagrant, was it?
Defensive pass interference, number 27, first down.
John Turner, this time called on interference. Reverse angle, it doesn't reveal much more, but the official, as you can see from the proximity to the players where the flag was thrown, the official right on top of it. First down, goal to go, 6-yard line. Cowboys trailing 17-10. We have 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Dorsett, and he's taken behind by Doug Martin, who's playing himself a game tonight. Loss of a yard.
He really is. He was another guy the Vikes had trouble signing, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you see this many flags, that's not good for the game.
Well, but we didn't see hardly any of the first half. You see, you got to balance those things out. That's not true. They just had some
point there.
So it'll be second down, goal to go. At the 7-yard line, there was a loss of 1. Let's cover this from behind the Cowboys. Hill is to the left. Drew Pearson is split to the right. Those are the wide receivers. Dorsett, and this time he runs into Doug Martin again.
Oh, yeah. Boy, was he in there. Look at those men. I tell you, they're an inspired team.
That will bring up third down. This time Doug Martin had moved over on the pass rush, anticipating pass to the right side, which he does. On run situations, Doug Martin will be at left end. The Vikings think pass, he goes to the right side. Third down, goal to go, and the loss this time back to the 10-yard line. The original line of scrimmage, the 6-yard line. 2 big plays, Doug Martin. 3 wide receivers, Butch Johnson in the slot to Danny White's right as we cover it from behind the Cowboys. White. Danny White, good athlete, gets inside the 5. Or it'll be fourth down. Tommy Hannon was there, and there was no question in the mind of Tom Landry, sending the field goal unit right onto the field.
That's bowling them over. Tony Hill wasn't too open, was it?
Danny White was busy at this point.
Right, he was.
Sure was.
Very busy.
He was running the football for his life.
Septien. Incredible percentage from inside the 40. Came into the night 26 or 28. This will be an attempt at 28 yards. Excuse me, 23 yards. The easy chip shot, and the Cowboys have shortened it up. They trail by 4 with 2:26 remaining in the third quarter. The implacable one, Bud Grant. We'll be back.
Hidden Television presents You Make the Call. Wide receiver Steve Largent of the Seahawks is knocked out of bounds by a Bronco defender. Now, you make the call. Can Largent return and become an eligible receiver on this play?
Hello, I'm George Plimpton. Here's an easy question for you.
Okay, Mr. Plimpton.
Which of these home video games looks more like a real arcade game? Intellivision Lock and Chase from Mattel Electronics?
Gee, if people had this game at home, my arcade could be in big trouble.
Or Atari Pac-Man?
Blinky, you look pale.
If you picked Intellivision, you're absolutely correct.
What call did you make? Once a player is knocked out of bounds, he can return to the field to play, but he is then considered an ineligible receiver.
The Cowboys have drawn to within 4. Vikings send Jarvis Redwine and Darren Nelson deep to accept the kick of Septien. Darren Nelson wanted it. He took it away from Redwine. And he coughs it up. There's a scramble, and I think Dallas may have it. Dallas has the football back at the 15-yard line. Darren Nelson got smacked, gave it up.
Oh, me.
Well, everything's going Dallas's way, and in truth, they don't deserve it. Watch again.
The 2 #1 draft picks involved in this. It was Darren Nelson getting whacked there. 3 Cowboys. I think the big hit was put on there by number 57, Angelo King.
I thought it was Danny Spradlin, that great big old middle linebacker. He's going to be a good one down there. Let him run. Let him run.
Somewhere along the way.
That's Spradlin, number 55. Angelo's in there, too.
Somewhere along the way, the Vikings defense will have to give. The last Dallas drive wasn't fulfilling because it was a drive engineered on 3 pass interference calls, and they still came up without a touchdown.
1st and 10. The ball just outside the 15-yard line. Changing off is Danny White. And Dorsett bobbles it. There's a scramble. It's still loose. The Vikings have it.
I don't believe
Johnson.
I'm telling you.
Now they have field position.
You'd think that...
They say this crowd is passive.
Oh. Look at the crowd and look over at the Minnesota sideline right there. Those players hugging one another. All over number 52.
That was a change-up by Danny White. And I don't think Tony Dorsett was ever confident that he was even going to run the right play.
Well, they had Doug Martin was in and around there. He kind of semi-calls that fumble.
The chase is on. 1st down, 10. The Vikings at their own 35-yard line. Kramer wants to quiet the crowd. Now Tommy wants to change it up. Ted Brown gets outside and taken out of bounds by Dennis Thurman. After a gain of 3, it'll be 2nd down and 7. 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Minnesota 17, the Cowboys 13.
That's an interesting stat right there.
Yep.
At least 1 fumble in each of the last 5 games.
T.D. has had that problem throughout his career. We've talked about it enough in the past. It's a lingering problem for him.
Ted Brown works it out to the 38-yard line. Second and 7. Brown again. Runs into Bob Brunig just at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and about 7. Bob Brunig, another Pro Bowling Dallas Cowboy. And he once again a win by the Vikings tonight. They can stay home next Sunday and entertain the Atlanta Falcons. In which case, the Dallas Cowboys would have Tampa Bay at Dallas, and Tampa Bay gave them all they wanted during the regular season. 3rd and 7. Movement, but no flag. Kramer has to hurry it. And he unloads to Ted Brown. He struggles for the 1st down and comes up short.
Decision time again.
Good coverage by Walls that time. Stayed right with him in a good move by Tommy Joe.
Let's see how Bud plays this.
He's got a pretty long yard. I think he'll put the punter in, Greg Coleman. He's got a 4-point lead.
Yeah, but Greg ran with it once before. Led to Minnesota's first field goal.
Rod Hill now settles in at the 10-yard line, gaining a little respect for Greg Coleman, who has really banged the ball well tonight. Off the side of his foot. And it goes out of bounds inside the 22-yard line. That time, not much of a kick. 34 yards. 1st and 10, the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to tell you again about our great lineup throughout the winter months coming up here on ABC. Of course, Howard Cosell's Sports Beat, show that has really led the way in sports journalism. Professional Bowlers Tour, our 22nd consecutive year. ABC's Wide World of Sports, all on Saturday, of course. Then on Sunday, the Superstars will have 3 special presentations there. The USA versus the World in amateur boxing. ABC's Wide World of Sports once again on Sunday, continuing its tradition of excellence. And beginning March the 6th, the premiere of the United States Football League. And ABC Sports, being number 1, is considered just the beginning. 21-yard line, the Dallas Cowboys. They trail by 4. 15 seconds remain in the third quarter. Annie White, the quick out to Pearson. And he'll get about 5 out around the 27-yard line.
You know, Butch Johnson, Don, has been noticeably absent, yet he's the guy who was loose twice in the end zone and overthrown each time in the early going.
Which has a...
Maybe they're saving that for the playoff.
Well, you know, this sounds silly, but it really, they've been in the playoffs for a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, and I think there is a complacency there, and they're not using a lot of variety in their offense tonight, so maybe they are doing some of that stuff. You know, it all comes down. You've got to put 4 weeks together.
They've marked it out over the 27, so it's 2nd down and 4. Tony Dorsett, single setback, gets the call up the middle, loses his footing, comes up short of the first down, where it'll be 3rd down and a long 2. Doug Martin tripping up.
I don't think Butch is happy with the state of affairs, Frank. The quarter ends.
Hard to crack into the lineup with Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, the all-time leading receiver. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this word from our local stations.
Just when you thought you'd been left in the lurch, the greatest American hero is back. So break out the champagne and bring on the dancing girls.
Showtime.
Ralph and Pam tie the knot for the new year, and they're moving in on a new night starting Thursday.
The Southwest Conference basketball season opener is taking place tonight in Austin. The Longhorns are hosting TCU. We'll have highlights of that contest after the football game.
I'm clear, I'm colorful, I'm sharp. I'm a Fox photo. And at Fox, quality doesn't just happen. We use quality Kodak paper. We want your prints to be the best that they can be. Satisfaction guaranteed. Your pictures back tomorrow are there free. So if your pictures are worth taking, take them to the Fox. Fox photo. Look for the Fox.
Half off coupon in Sunday and Monday's News, Herald, and Star Telegram.
Baker, set up a teleconference with our 5 regional managers for tomorrow, will you?
I'll get my assistant on it right away.
Assistant?
Listen, I need a conference call tomorrow at 2:30. Would you call Mr. Taylor?
How does he rate an assistant?
You get promoted?
Handles everything for me.
Baker, have the operator confirm that teleconference, eh?
The long-distance operator.
Hey, Baker, you're a real operator. Get it?
Bell Teleconferencing. It's another way to get things done today.
Cloudy and cold tonight, better tomorrow. More on the update.
Well, you all figured that one out. Cowboys are 2 for 12 on 3rd and 3 or less in the last 4 games. But right now, they are faced with a 3rd down and 2, the ball inside the 30-yard line. Changes in the offensive line for the Cowboys. Herbert Scott, who had missed much of the season with a sore knee, played a little bit last week for an injured Howard Rich is a left guard. He's in there. Steve Wright is at right guard, number 73. Changes in the Cowboys offensive line. And there it is. That's it. It's gone. John Turner got the deflection. Mark Mullaney, 6'6", put the big hand up, deflected it, and Turner one-handed it into the end zone.
Look at them go out there. That's a team that wants to win. We've insistently pointed out we didn't think Dallas was playing exactly inspired football. That's an understatement.
30-yard touchdown.
This team is playing some game.
That is true. The whole bench emptied to go out there. I would really like to see that. That's the game part, the fun part that I really do like. And Dallas turned around and walked off the field. Oh, that's terrific.
It's Turner's first touchdown in the NFL.
There's Mullaney, the deflection. And there's Turner.
And this team lost last week by 28 points.
And the other team lost by 4.
Danmeier for the conversion. The Vikings stretch out their lead in the early going of the fourth quarter. Well, the Cowboys have almost the entire fourth quarter to get some sort of offensive act together. They have been sluggish. They have been held in total check by a defense that is constantly changing on the part of the Vikings. We'll be back with more action.
Chevy trucks are taking charge with the all-new S10 Blazer, available with the revolutionary InstaTrack four-wheel drive system. Shift from freewheeling two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive high and back at any speed. S10 Blazer, from America's truck sales leader. Top Chevy trucks are taking charge. Now, get 11.9% financing at participating Chevrolet dealers.
Remember what happened to oil prices? Well, look out. Here come gas prices. Fight back with the Attic Blanket, new from Owens Corning. It's the most powerful roll of thermal protection you can buy. Before fuel bills put you in the red, get the Attic Blanket and put your house in the pink.
It is bold, it is new, it is destiny. The United States Football League, starting March 6th every Sunday on ABC. The country waits.
24-13, Minnesota. John Turner, interception, 30-yard return. An assist from Mulaney. And the Cowboys getting in deep water. Danmeier kicks off. Newsom is deep along with Rod Hill. It'll be Newsom who bobbles the ball. He'll have to do something with it. And the Cowboys at their half-yard line.
It's been a long time since any of you have seen a Cowboy team play this badly. In fairness to Minnesota, they're playing inspired football. Brilliant coaching job by Bud Grant. I don't think I've ever seen a team better prepared for a given game. And that man has prepared his team for the night.
That man is doing it without his two prime receivers.
That's right, and without his best defensive player, Scott Studwell.
That's right.
So give them their fair share of the credit. Terrific performance. But Dallas, you're right, Dandy. This team seems to think it can turn it on whenever it wants. You can't do that in this league anymore, and this is no way to go into the playoffs.
Won't change anything except I feel you ought to go in the playoff with the best attitude, the most positive attitude you can, and they can't really feel too good about the way they played the last couple of weeks.
The ball just over the goal line of the Cowboys. Dorsett, single setback. Big opening for Tony Dorsett. Look out, he's got great speed.
99 yards and a half.
Dorsett down the sideline. Stays in bounds.
Can you believe that?
And short, because they're
99 yards.
Short yardage defense, all bunched up. And that's the 99.5-yard run, I think, is the longest run in the history of the league.
It is.
So now they're alive, put to the biggest test of all, and suddenly the whole momentum changes. But they were bunched up for the short yardage defense, and Gifford called it.
Let's start bragging on them all of a sudden. Y'all want to? Who is that poor lady? She must have been a Minnesota fan.
Off mic, Frank said he'll bust it all the way. If you believe that, you'll believe anything.
All right.
Great.
Herb Scott. Herb Scott, the guard has been out for a few days. Good block, middle linebacker.
And the move down here, Don, to stay in bounds was a great piece of athletic skill.
I didn't think he would make it. Is that Willie Teal there, I believe, isn't it? And all of a sudden, he just kept his balance and right in there. That's wild.
Longest run previously, 97 yards.
By Andy Urim of the Green Bay Packers back in 1939. Bob Gage did it for Pittsburgh against the Bears in 1949. Tony Dorsett has just taken it the length of the field.
He just went over 100 yards, didn't he?
Yeah. 408, well within reach. Just at the end, puts it through. He's fun to watch. One of the great athletes ever to play this game. Tony Dorsett goes 99 yards. Credit to the offensive line. They opened a beautiful hole. Rafferty and Scott.
burn the candle at both ends, there's a vitamin just for you. New Advanced Formula Stress Tabs, now with biotin. A vitamin not found in other stress formulas. A vitamin essential to help convert food to energy. When you burn the candle at both ends, support your diet with new Advanced Formula Stress Tabs with biotin.
The Buick Skyhawk comes by its name very honestly. Hawks are known, after all, for their power and maneuverability, and their form enables them to move through the air with ease. Also, like its namesake, Skyhawk shares a certain indefinable spirit of freedom unmatched by any other car anywhere. Buick Skyhawk, with electronic fuel-injected power, front-wheel drive. All in all, a very civilized Hawk indeed. Capture one at your Buick dealer.
Tony Dorsett's 3.7 yards per carry average just went up a little bit.
Just a touch. Maybe they can turn it on whenever they want. You see a play like that.
Love to watch him play.
It's going to be interesting to see how that defense responds. That's the first touchdown that they've scored all night, really.
Septien hammers one. Darren Nelson from the end zone. And nice run back by Nelson. He's out over the 30-yard line. First down, Minnesota. They still have the lead, 24-20.
Would have been funny if Darren had broken one. We had 2 touchdowns in 28 seconds.
Wonder what the Russian hockey team thought about that.
Well, maybe we can get a look.
I probably thought it was a hat trick.
Yeah, that's nice.
Soviet team has left the premises.
We got a little snooze time before the North Stars tomorrow night. 31-yard line, 1st and 10, the Minnesota Vikings. Ted Brown. Good cutback by Brown. A different type of football player, but an excellent one, Ted Brown, breaking back against the grain.
Oh, what a low center of gravity. Look at this, Don.
I will, but look at Jim Huff tackling Randy White right there, number 54. Good balance. Everybody hit him just about. Brunig bounces off. Thurman.
Hey, Dutton missed it.
They all took a shot.
Dickerson missed. Thurman missed.
Benny Barnes finally said, would you mind stepping out of bounds and get this over with?
The thing was, he makes the miss, though. He really isn't that bad at tackling. He's just making the miss. He shrugs them off. He's a lot stronger than he looks. First down, 42-yard line for Minnesota. You won't find an ounce of quit in this team. Not tonight. Ted Brown, a couple of yards up over the 45-yard line. Second down and 8. His history, let's look at it again.
You see a good block by Scott on Johnson. The secondary tried to roll up. There's a... Oh, that one could have tackled right there. That was John Swain. And this is amazing. Look at Drew Pearson trying to help him in there. And Willis Teal let him get by.
Second down, long 8. Ball just over the 45-yard line. Terry LeCount out of the backfield in motion. Kramer, he will be sacked. The first man there, John Dutton. Only his second sack of the season individually.
Cowboys ran a defense that time which allowed Dutton to kind of swing out to the outside. They play that field position, downs, and all that sort of jazz. You see Jones coming inside from that end position. Dutton swung out. Nobody blocked him. John turned him back in. There's Big Too Tall.
That's about 550 pounds sprawled over Tommy Kramer. Too Tall and John Dutton. Third down, 17. Ball inside the 37-yard line of the Vikings. Kramer was right on target, and Ted Brown, ordinarily with the fine hands, doesn't hold on. It'll bring up 4th down.
That must have made a big difference. Now they got a punt from deep in their own.
Meanwhile, Tampa Bay, St. Louis, Atlanta,
They're packing, unpacking.
Packing, unpacking, calling the travel agents. They're all going to be in different places depending upon the outcome. Greg Coleman on 4th and 17 on to punt. Rod Hill is back for the Cowboys. Coleman, short kick. Hill handles it at the 30. And Rod Hill, nice running up over the 40-yard line. Sinline was there first for Minnesota. He left off the field a little earlier when he went up in the air, tried to draw the roughing the punter penalty, hurt his leg, and Greg Coleman is still limping. We have a timeout at 12:36 remaining.
This life isn't for everybody, but for me, nothing beats it. And nothing beats my skull either. I just take a little pinch and put it between my cheek and gum. Sure feels good. I think going smokeless is the only way to go. And for me, Walt Garrison, this is the only way to live. Try going smokeless with Skoal, Copenhagen, or Happy Days. A pinch is all it takes.
At Denny's, we slice the tender tips from lean sirloin steak, braise them to seal in their hearty flavor, smother them in rich mushroom gravy, simmer them gently, ladle them over Durham flour egg noodles, and serve them with a roll and salad, all for the special price of only $3.29 through January. Braised sirloin tips, only at Denny's, where you'll like our prices and you'll love our food.
The Big Bubble here in Minneapolis cost $55 million. They opened it last April. They started construction in '79. Put it back together this past week when 17 inches of snow fell on this city and ripped a big hole as they were trying to clear the stadium. Danny White, the singing Cowboy quarterback, brings up the Cowboys at the 40-yard line, 1st down and 10. Dorsett.
See if he can do it again. No.
And Dorsett gets the 1st down with a 15-yard pickup to the 45-yard line. John Turner took him out of bounds, and Tony now looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him on the sidelines, trying to get the breath back in. Needs 40 yards to become the NFL season rushing leader.
Those kinds of delayed counter moves, comes back to the outside. Really just kind of, whoops, tripped right in there, did it on his own. John Turner.
Strong hit there.
That was the hit, I think, rather than the ground. He got it right in the rib, looked like.
And they're still looking after Tony Dorsett on the sidelines. Play continues with 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. There's Tony. We'll get a report as quickly as we can. Sometimes you land on that football and it knocks the wind out of you. It can also cause cartilage damage of the ribs. Screen and deflected and almost picked off by Doug Martin, who's everywhere tonight.
He has been playing a simply tremendous game. Underpublicized. Playing maybe the game of his life tonight.
Tony Dorsett needs 40 yards to pass Freeman McNeil of the Jets to become the NFL's leading rusher for this season as we look again.
You're going to set up a screen. You've got to set up first. You had pretty good protection that time. Good move by White just to knock Martin away. I thought he might have made it.
I'd like to have seen Martin intercept that and see what Danny would have done with him. 2nd down and 10. Newsom, and Timmy Newsom just hurdles over the 45-yard line to about the 41. That'll be 3rd down and 6, and as you can see, Dorsett is up. Collect his breath on the bench for a few moments. I suspect we might see him come back in and give it a try for the rushing crown. Third down, long 6. Puts Johnson in. He's the slot, top of your screen. They like to go to him. Right. Tony Hill He's short of the first down. Swarming Viking defense. John Swain first.
I think that was Martin again who really laid one into Danny. Danny had to hurry his pass, throw to the quick look. Let's see if we pick it up again. Martin, number 79, comes back around and whammo. Got him. And here's the reception by Tony. I think Tony was aware that he was short of that first down, trying to make some kind of moves. Good solid tackle there that time by John Swain.
And on fourth down, the offensive unit stays on for the Cowboys. Fourth down and 2. Seconds ticking away inside 11 minutes. Just a little out of Septien's range. They wouldn't pick up much by a punt unless they could get it out of bounds in close.
A daring move. All right.
And a deflection by number 75, Randy Holloway, who comes in on the pass rush. Got a big paw up there, and Danny White has had numerous deflections tonight.
5. These pictures need no words.
He got under center. Good move on the outside to Cooper. Got up, and that's a good move by that young man.
And Minnesota leading 24-20. 10:45 remaining in the game. First and 10, their own 37.
Sharp knows that taking a computer wherever your business takes you can be a hard thing to carry off. So Sharp has invented the PC 1500, the portable computer that goes where you go. It can help you make everything from annual forecasts to 4-color charts and graphs. It's taking a load off the shoulders of American business. The Sharp PC 1500. We replaced 500,000 transistors and diodes with one tiny chip. From Sharp's minds come Sharp products.
Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge with the all-new S10 Maxi Cab. Ford Ranger and Toyota don't even have one. Taking charge with available seating for 4. Compared to Datsun's extended cab, Maxi Cab has up to 40% more load space. S10 Maxi Cab from America's truck sales leader. Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge. Now, get 11.9% financing at participating Chevrolet dealers.
Minnesota has the football back. They have the lead over the Cowboys, 24-20. A Minnesota victory tonight. And they get to stay home for the beginning of the playoffs next weekend. They'll entertain Atlanta on Sunday. Should they win tonight, Dallas will be at home to Tampa Bay. Ted Brown, single setback on first down and 10 at the 37-yard line. And Ed Jones collects Ted Brown. Adjustment, and I'll tell you, whatever they've been doing, it's been right on the part of that defensive unit headed by Big Doug Martin.
They're doing everything, and they're doing it without Scott Studwell, who is, by team consensus, the leading defensive player on the club. Doug Martin has had an extraordinary evening. There have been blocked passes, deflected passes. It's been an inspired team.
Second down and 10. Rickey Young, 34, in there with Ted Brown. Rickey Young, good receiver, along with Ted Brown. Screen to Brown, and Randy White rumbles in from the offside to take Ted Brown down after a gain of 3.
That was a superb play by White.
Unusual screen to see one when it dropped that deep and throw it to the same side where you drop. A lot of times you see him try to screen back over to the weak side, threw right into where the pursuit was.
Third down and 7.
You know, you watch that offensive defensive line, and it really is hard to tell what's holding anymore. I can't tell what they're doing, except I know that, in particular, Randy White, they got their hands all over him on every play.
So they get confused on the kicks. They block the same way on punts and kickoff returns, and that's why we have all those penalties. We've got a third down and 7.
Look out.
Kramer sidearms it to Sam McCullum. The ball ripped loose, and they're saying incomplete.
Was that, who hit Tommy back there? Was that Harvey? Man, somebody laid it to him. I'll tell you, Harvey's kind of semi-limping off, but he put one on Tommy Joe before he left.
Here's Greg Coleman. He was limping earlier. He started limping after he faked to fall, trying to draw the penalty on an earlier punt. He had been kicking the ball about 43 yards on average. Prior to that, his last 2 punts have been 34 yards. And here's Rod Hill, showing a lot of style as a return man tonight. Is Rod Hill, the #1 draft pick for the Cowboys from Kentucky State. This time, Coleman really hammers one. Rod Hill at the 10. That's a football player. To the 36-yard line. Individual effort. Rod Hill. He was in the arms of a tackler at the 23-yard line. This is just fine running.
Slipped a good tackle right there. That is. Again, trying to find your spot.
Here's the one he gets out of that I didn't understand. And it seemed he was caught.
And a Cowboy is down on the field. And I believe it's Rod Hill.
Brilliant run back.
Massaging the right hand. Seems to be all right. And he gets an appreciative round of applause from a very partisan Viking crowd, of course. I mentioned those numbers, Don and Howard. A year ago, he averaged, returning 18 punts for Kentucky State, just under 32 yards a return.
Now, you said that earlier. You serious?
Frightening, isn't it?
Well, 30-something. You look, you did your facts. You got your facts. 30-something yards on a punt return.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That was the NCAA Division II at Kentucky State. Springs and Newsom are the setbacks for the Cowboys. Dorsett remains on the bench, and this is Ron Springs. Springs out over the 40-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
I tell you, this game has had an extraordinary ebb and flow. Moments of brilliance, moments of lassitude.
But all in all, even as the score is only separated by 4, 24-20, Minnesota over Dallas, Cowboys have not moved the football well. They did have their 99-yard touchdown run by Tony Dorsett.
And a pass interception for the other touchdown and 2 field goals. I've been paying attention all night.
2nd and 6. Run it. Danny White, wide open field. He'll get a lot of yards. Danny White, not only a fine quarterback, but a good athlete. Very heady athlete.
And I really have to admit something to that. Of all the quarterbacks that Dallas has had, he's the best singer.
Got his own tape and album out.
Got his tape out. And that really hurts. That really hurts to do that. Didn't have anybody open. That's just what happens. You see him did scramble. Of course, if he was a little tougher, he'd make a cut right in here and cut back across the middle and meet that man head on.
That's how you get those zippers.
Yeah. I mean, you got to let them know who's tough out there. Run to that sideline.
We'll show them your body.
Yeah. Punish them.
Looks like a shark got a hold of you. On 1st and 10. Wilson is there, and a good defensive play.
Beautiful.
John Swain.
That was good, and that was very close to what he was called for pass interference in the 3rd quarter, coming over the back.
He's been working on it.
Yeah, it's improved. Practice.
Keeps doing it till he gets it right.
Well, let's just see, because the ball was one of those that he kind of airmailed it which way you're going. You see Drew kind of coming in. It's close.
It looked like a replay of the one he was called for earlier.
Well, he kept his left arm off of him, though.
The way they're calling him these days.
Yeah, oh, boy.
You don't want to breathe on him too heavily.
Right.
39-yard line, 2nd down and 10. 7:51 remaining in the game. Minnesota on top, 24-20. Cosby on the motion. Danny White, and Vikings were all over Danny White.
You know, that's really where it's been, I think, tonight. That defensive line, and Dallas has got a good offensive line. But they really haven't given him much protection tonight.
They've got a
that was Mulaney
couple
again.
Changes in there. Steve Wright is over at right guard. Herb Scott coming back from injury at left guard.
Frank, he's not going to make over 50% tonight. 12 out of 29.
Well, you never can tell. But look at Mulaney coming through. Nobody touched him.
The fourth pass that's been blocked or deflected on Danny White. Third down and 10. Cowboys end up playing from the bench, of course. They bring in Butch Johnson. He's in the slot up at the top of your screen. Drew Pearson on the outside. Movement, and I believe it was on the part of the Cowboys.
I think old Coop got a little bit anxious.
Yep. Without question. Penalties.
Start. 61 offense.
Jim Cooper, the right tackle, blowing the count, setting up prematurely. 5-yard penalty. Tony looks like he's ready to get back into it. He'd like to get that 40 yards, I know.
I bet he doesn't know he needs 40.
I'll bet he doesn't either. The last thing in the world he's thinking about.
He's carried the ball 15 times for 155 yards. In case you missed it, he went 99 yards for a touchdown earlier to break a long-standing NFL record. Tony Dorsett. Third down, 15. White. Got a little bit of time, and Cosby is down there. And Cosby catches the football. Amidst 3 Vikings, Cosby comes down with the ball.
You believe that?
Oh, me.
They had him covered like a tent, and they blew it. This is what I mean by ebb and flow.
Cosby almost didn't even make it on the field. He was the last one to get out there, and Newsom goes off, so he goes deep.
How about this time?
Oh, well, this is wild. I'll just throw this thing down here. Let's see how, well, got a little wobble.
Turner was there, Hannon was there, Swain was there, and Cosby catches the football.
That's amazing.
First down, goal to go, inside the 3-yard line.
Oh, me. Well, the Vikings stopped them down here once before. They had to settle for a field goal, so they haven't scored. They haven't gone ahead yet.
But fatigue is overtaking this defensive unit.
Inside 7 minutes.
Martin went back very slowly.
Who did?
Doug Martin.
Oh.
Ron Springs. Touchdown. Big opening on the left side. Donovan and Herb Scott.
And the way to get in it, Tom. And the way to go, boy. Fire him up over there.
Let's look at it again. He was 3 Vikings, right? And they all come down when he went up.
Said, what is he, 6'6" or
6'6"?
Yeah, that helps that time, doesn't it?
You got to time your jumps out a little better than that.
Yeah. One Viking man mistimed his jump terrible. And that's what did it.
And we have a new leader, the Cowboys. Septien trying to open up a 3-point lead. Serrano gets it down, and we're going to have a penalty assessed on the kickoff as one of the Vikings a little over-eager, Keith Nord.
Number 49 on the defense, roughing the kicker, will be assessed on the kickoff.
Keith Nord running into Septien, and there's Cosby, and he has really come into his own. They got him on the 3rd round in '79, and finally this year he has replaced Billy Joe Dupree as a starting tight end, even though Dupree does see a lot of action. Cosby is the primary tight end as a receiver.
Ron Springs is going to score a straight little handoff in here. Lead in on the outside. Didn't quite get there in time to stop it. Pretty good hole. Springs is a guy that they're all real pleased with because they kind of found him hidden away up in Ohio State.
We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is Channel 8, Dallas-Fort Worth.
6:42 remains in the football game. You have just joined us. The Minnesota Vikings have played inspired football tonight. They came back from a 10-point deficit, took the lead. They had held the lead until just a few moments ago when Danny White threw one up for grabs and Doug Cosby came down with it. Ron Springs got it into the end zone, and we have Dallas on top 27-24. A Dallas win tonight. And Minnesota has to travel to Dallas for the playoff game next Sunday. A Viking win, the Vikings would be home to Atlanta, and the Dallas Cowboys would entertain Tampa Bay in the playoffs next Sunday. Septien to kick off. Redwine and Nelson are deep. Great kick for Septien. And the Vikings will have a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line following the touchback. Nightline tonight. What lies ahead for California's controversial former governor? Jerry Brown talks live with Ted Koppel on Nightline tonight.
What lies ahead? Watch it.
Well, I know what lies behind. It wasn't too good. First down 10, 20-yard line. Tommy Kramer on the night. Got up to kind of a hairy start, throwing that interception to Dennis Thurman. Darren Nelson now in there. Split out to the right is Nelson. Good receiver. There he is. And Nelson over the 30-yard line gets the first down at the 31. Dennis Thurman made the stop.
Well, let's see if Tommy can move his club now, because the Dallas defense has choked him off in this final quarter very effectively.
That's the way I would think is a good way to do it. Start off with those short ones, try to get the ball through it there, and Nelson out there. And what you call not much panic. Let's just go ahead and take our time. We're just 3 points down.
All the time in the world.
Inside 6 minutes, Darren Nelson. Now he remains as the single setback. And Kramer in trouble, and down he goes. Randy White, oddly enough, getting only his 2nd individual sack of the season. But nevertheless, heading for the Pro Bowl.
But the coverage was excellent, and Tommy was right to eat the football. Don't give it away.
Loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13. Bud Grant, if you throw in his Canadian victories, he would be the 2nd winningest coach in the history of professional football.
Kind of surprised me. He won 100 and what? 140?
122 up in Winnipeg.
I think that ought to count.
Quick movement.
You're beginning to see a little bit of frayed activity over there on that offensive unit by the Vikings.
Ball start, left side offense.
Out of the way, Tommy. Now get them back together. Say, all right, let's hold it in the road, guys. Not that bad.
Means an awful lot to a team like the Vikings. They'd love to stay home. They play indoors, no matter the weather here. They're playing 65 degrees. You got to pack up. You got to make all kinds of different travel plans, and it's jarring.
The black and blue division has been kind of criticized lately. They said there's no good teams there, but they got 4 of them that are in the playoffs.
4 out of 5 in the playoffs.
Not bad.
All 4, by the way, beaten by the Jets.
2nd down, long yardage for Kramer. Going for Leo Lewis, incomplete. And Rod Hill in there, the rookie #1 draft pick, was providing the defense for the Cowboys. Cowboys are looking at a lot of folks tonight. They've got quick movements.
Yeah, that's kind of coming over the shoulder, too, though, isn't it? Close. I don't have a clue what that...
No, I don't either.
Never have. Whenever they throw a flag, I guess they're right.
It's a frustration of some of the defensive backs. I don't think they do either.
Yeah. Some of those calls appear to be at women caprice.
You've got to be kidding. How many would you say? I think I said that last week, didn't it?
Yeah. 3rd down, 18. Terry LeCount fell over the yard marker, but he gets the first down at the 46.
You talk about a big play, a 3rd down play.
Almost looked like it was a miss. I mean, they had 2 receivers in the same spot.
That'll keep things alive.
That sure will. He had a hard time getting off the line. Somebody missed him.
Well, he attracted a crowd.
Oops. Yeah, looked like his knee went out from under him there.
His ankle pinched.
Error.
They got to get down pretty close for Danmeier to kick a field goal to get it into overtime.
Yeah.
47-yard line. Kramer and Anthony Dickerson untouched in from the left side, and Kramer drops to the surface. The loss is back inside the 40-yard line.
So again, they need big yardage.
Loss of just about 8. It'll be second down and 18.
Not too many prevent defenses you see when they take the strong safety out. And Benny Barnes does go out in this situation, along with Brunig, Dutton. I guess they take Hegman out too. Got a lot of young backs out there.
Cowboys love to blitz in this situation, but they do not. Kramer, Ted Brown, and Ted Brown with a great catch.
That's a good
He
throw.
knew he was going to be hammered, and he concentrated totally on the ball, and indeed, Michael Downs laid one on him, but he holds on to the football.
That ball was thrown really well, too. That had to be thrown there in a hurry. It was hard, right on the line. He had an opening, and he laid it right in. Good throw, Tommy. You can see he's right over Anthony Dickerson's head, number 51, right in that hole. Zot.
Right, same hole that he threw to LeCount earlier.
That's nice. Like that. Pretty.
This time using Brown. That was a hard hit.
Downs and Clinkscale both hammered Brown. And he'll get it together. He'll be back.
We're at 3:15 and counting down.
First down inside the 37-yard line. Galbraith comes in. Brown gets a breather. Darren Nelson is also in there at setback. Kramer has the time. He has the count. The count right at the first down marker.
I think this is what Tommy indicated before the game, that Dennis does lay off, or he plays a little bit deeper than Everson was. Says I'm going to try to work in front of him. He's done it a few times tonight. Was that a first or close? 8 or 9 yards?
I think it's just about a first down.
They'll measure it.
Yeah. You can't really do that really from here on in too much, because the defensive backs are going to play a little bit closer than normal. But out between those 20s, that's a good place to work. Throw out in front of those guys.
Under any circumstances.
Inches short.
How do you like that?
But Minnesota now trailing by 3 is within the range of Danmeier, the field goal kicker.
That's the point.
And also, it doesn't really matter that you don't make that first right there. You got a second down. You're certainly in this stage of the game where you're going to use all 4 of them to get it. So Dallas probably would just play the regular 4-3 defense and not go into a short yardage situation.
So it'll be second down and inches for the Minnesota Vikings. Tommy Kramer will be thinking not to get sacked. He'll be looking for some way to get rid of the football, if indeed he puts it in the air at this point.
Well, you can look for Rickey Young in a situation like this. They put him in there. He can get it for you with a plunge, and he can get it for you with a pass reception.
Second down and inches. Big yardage to the 15. First down and 10. Seconds ticking off the clock. We're looking at an overtime, quite possibly. In case you might be wondering, should the game go into overtime? Should the full quarter expire, the game wind up in a tie? We had one of those earlier this year during the season. It would be the same as a Cowboy victory as far as it affects the playoff picture. Crowd is behind the Vikes tonight. They have played their hearts out. Ted Brown. And it's getting stickier. About a yard for Ted Brown as we head to the 2-minute warning. Vikings, by the way, have 2 timeouts. They used one, remember, earlier. The Cowboys have 3. And there it is. The 2-minute warning will be returning to the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis in a moment.
Ted
everything but your ego, because they know how it hurts. They'll go for it again.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like it. Budweiser Light.
Bring out your best. You gotta reach deep inside. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light. Bring out your best. Budweiser Light.
The best. You found it in yourself, and now you found it in the beer you drink.
We're back. The situation. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Minnesota Vikings have a second down and 8. The ball at the 14-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. And Dallas leading 27-24. 2 timeouts for the Vikings, 3 timeouts for the Cowboys.
Win or lose, the Vikings have been a gallant team tonight. They really have.
That they have. And particularly on defense. They played superb defensive football. Here comes a safety blitz. The Vikes pick it up. Kramer's the man wide open. It is Rickey Young. He hooks, slides, and gets into the end zone. There's a lot of time remaining.
That's Rickey Young for you. He can kill you in any number of ways. He's an all-purpose football player.
I love to see that bench empty. The defense is out there. Then they want it. A lot of want to.
Rickey Young, that was only his 4th reception of the season, and what a big one it was for the Vikings.
You see a little fake in the backfield, too Young. Tommy drifts over, turns around. He's by himself. Ball was underthrown. Good move there by Young.
Rickey Young came to the Vikes in '78 for Ed White, who went to the Chargers, and until Ted Brown arrived in '79, he was the Vikings offense. Danmeier for the conversion. And the Vikings have taken the lead again. 1:52 remaining, and the Cowboys have 3 timeouts. So, call the travel agent again. Tampa Bay, St. Louis, and Atlanta. It's really heady on the part of Kramer, too, Don, because he was really being harassed. Somehow found Rickey Young.
It's a good call here, though, Frank. I mean, it's one of those chance calls, and if he's covered, of course, you can throw it away, but the odds are somebody reading it that way. That's the linebacker's man by the time he comes out of that backfield. They just didn't stay with him.
Might have been a good decision on the part of Bud Grant. His team is tiring, or they have appeared to be, particularly on defense. And he could have worked the ball down, figuring on a field goal to tie it up. But he brought one out of the old playbook and got it in for the touchdown that gave him the lead.
He has coached as fine a game tonight as I think he ever has in his whole career.
He's without his key defensive inside linebacker, Scott Studwell. Not a play tonight. 2 wide receivers, Ahmad Rashad, Sammy White. Sammy White's been in the game, but he has not been a factor. And they have a 31-27 lead over the Cowboys with 1:52 remaining in the game.
And Dallas has a lot of time.
Danmeier hangs it high for Timmy Newsom. And Newsom gets out over the 30-yard line. In the arms of John Turner, taken out of bounds close to the 33-yard line.
That's where not having a kicker who can kick off for you into the end zone can kill you. Dallas gets consistently good field position on Minnesota kickoffs.
It does mean a lot. Instead of having the ball at the 20, following a touchback, the Cowboys have the ball near the 33-yard line. Anyway, trying to get up to the 50% mark. Inside handoff, Dorsett. And upended is Tony Dorsett. Superb play by John Turner. who, like his teammate Doug Martin, has been a little bit of everywhere tonight. He made that tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
And 2 guys were blocking him.
That's right. Hurry-up offense now for the Cowboys. No huddle. Conserving timeouts. 1:24. The clock is moving, and quick movement. I think Dallas, or at least the Vikings, are saying the offensive line pulled them off.
Well, they claim they were induced, but I doubt it.
Well, they sure do look smooth, no matter what you say. Yeah.
Yeah. And the Cowboys will back up 5. Danny White wants a little explanation of it, saying that his men were indeed set.
So far,
start, right side, offense, second down.
So far, not a touchdown pass thrown by Danny White. First time this year. Should it sustain?
Tom's having a hard time handling 2 careers. Showbiz and football.
Never easy.
Yeah, tough.
Second down, 17. White underthrows, but Butch Johnson holds on, getting back to the original line of scrimmage, +1, so it will be third down now and 9.
Now, Johnson will hustle out there. He's the only one out there who's really kind of moving around, and he catches a lot of those that are low.
You get it around him, and he will make a great stab at it. Batted down. The 5th time it's been batted down tonight, and Randy Holloway
You believe
put the big
that?
paw up on this one.
Holloway, Mulaney, Doug Martin. You can name them all.
4th down. 54 seconds remaining. The crowd on his feet. We've had so much success over the years with these Vikings. Bud Grant, the last 15 years of Minnesota, has won 11 Central Division titles, 1 NFL title, and 3 NFC titles. The Vikings have been to the Super Bowl 4 times. 4th down and 9. Batted down again. And the Vikings will take over.
Love it.
At the 33-yard line.
And they will win this football game. And what a guarantee.
6 times Danny White has seen the ball batted away. And Minnesota appears to be the host team next Sunday to the Atlanta Falcons, while Dallas will host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, he's got Cooper working on him, and he just picks up his head one more time. And that's not a turnout to lights. There's never been one, has there?
3rd time, Holloway has batted it away.
I think it might be propitious for you to end the season on that note, singing it.
Why don't you and I propitious together, and you kind of hum along there in the background. Are you ready?
I'll sing it myself.
All right, 1 and
I haven't an opportunity to sing much.
That's that. Will you join in, Frank? I mean, this is basically it for a while, you know. 1 and a 1, 2, 3. Turn out the light.
First down.
The party is
10
over.
for Minnesota.
You're not helping, guys.
Inside the 34.
They say that all good things must end.
Ted Brown working on the clock.
Tonight. Those guys better get it in gear, whoever they play next week. It's Tampa, I guess, right?
Cowboys with a belated timeout, using one of theirs. Cowboys can stop it twice more. I want to tell you this ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Budweiser Light. The light beer brewed with quality ingredients in beechwood aging for a clean, distinctive taste worthy of the king of beers. By Chevy Trucks and your local Chevrolet dealer. Tough Chevy Trucks are taking charge.
Boy. Well, you know, pride's not too hard to swallow if you just chew it long enough.
That's your decision.
That's it. So they're going to have to chew on it for a little bit. We're on TV. Yes. This telecast, incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. And I'm on my way. I've done my time. Shoshona.
That man has done his time tonight.
That's it.
Cowboys can stop it twice more. 38 seconds remain. It's 2nd down and 7. Ball resting right at the 30-yard line. And Ted Brown over the left side. Short of the first down, but up close to the 25-yard line. Cowboys still have not stopped the clock. To remind you, as is our custom, the clock is now stopped by the Cowboys. Remind you to stick around at the conclusion of the game. We want to let you know the names and meet some of the people that have traveled back and forth across the country for so many years. Also, take a look at some of the wild plays that we have seen over the course of the year.
Why not?
Bud Grant can't be much happier about any victory. So Tony Dorsett, an NFL record tonight, 99 yards from scrimmage. One that stood since 1949. And on the night, 153 yards. And Freeman McNeil will be the NFL rushing leader for this season. And when as you watch Freeman McNeil, you get a feeling he's going to be there in years to come.
However, he may not be there in the playoffs. The Jets removed him at the very least precautionarily in the game against Kansas City Sunday.
Kramer hands off to Brown, looking for the first down. Driven backwards. And now Cowboys use their final timeout. And 11 seconds show on the scoreboard clock. Remind you again, we'll be in Honolulu for the Pro Bowl, February the 6th. And Tom Landry will be next Sunday in Dallas, the stadium with the real hole in the roof. They'll entertain Tampa Bay, a team that they managed to defeat during the course of the season, but gave them all they would ever want.
5 times inside the 10-yard line, Tampa Bay. In a game they lost 14-9. They couldn't get it into the end zone.
Part of what it takes to beat the Cowboys is to getting rid of the mystique that's in your mind about playing them, and Tampa Bay certainly has not had any great respect for them. And they really bounced them around in that game, even though they lost it.
Defense won for Minnesota tonight. Great defense, and Tampa Bay has one of the great defenses in this league. Not a happy Tom Landry, you can understand.
How can you tell?
Not bad, though. He set an NFL consecutive winning season record this year, 17 consecutive seasons in a row. They have been winning. They've been in the playoffs 16 times. And they're in there against Tampa Bay beginning on Sunday. 4th down, long 2. Cowboys out of timeouts. Gets the first down, the final nail in the coffin. This game is history. A great victory for the Vikings, who now can unpack, settle in, and entertain the Atlanta Falcons next Sunday. And no finer game for Bud Grant, I do not believe.